Grandkids are here.
kids. Uh, they are in their cousin house, neighborhood.
You have
Not my wife's house. That's correct.
neighborhood. Yeah,
Hmm?
neighborhood. जय 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 हे गजानना Once I have seen you, don't know you and touched you. How can I live in this world without you? Let me see you. Everywhere, let me hear you. Everyone, let me serve you. You are the Lord of my heart and my soul. निरुपम गुण सदना चरना नीरज दलय निरुपम गुण सदना चरना नीरज दलय शरणा नीरज नयना शांति शांति शांति।
Saram everyone. My most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Welcoming all, one and all here, and those who are present on YouTube. Every one of you are here as a chosen office bearer of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So blessed to have all of you here. We'll start with a small prayer today. Just follow after me. This is Swami's prayer. O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work. So we all are here as His divine instruments. During Swami was on a backstage and the drama is going on. And Swami all of a sudden came to the backstage and apparently the director of the drama was there and he asked, who's the director of this drama? He was kind enough to say, Swami, you are the director, but I'm the assistant director. So Swami said, I don't need any assistance. So we have to remember that we are only an instrument in His hands. I think that's very important. So, what is the vision statement for Region 5? What is that we want to be as we embark into the next 2 years, right? Guided by Bhagavan, we envision a region where officers serve with unity of purpose, communicate with love and clarity, and collaborate selflessly, recognizing every action has its work and every office bearer has his instrument. So I think the unity of purpose, we all have a role to play. Some are presidents, some are vice presidents, devotional, service, cellular care. It's all the purpose at which we have embarked into this. I think we have to focus on the purpose. So let's see how much we can accomplish this unified as one team. The opportunity to serve in these organizations has been secured by you by merit earned in several lives. It is your birthright to serve through this organization and become ideals for others in society. What you gain by your participation in the mission is a divine grace, joy and delight. Do not lose the great opportunity that has come your way. Sanctify your lives through dedicated service. These are directly the words of Swami. I think we all are chosen not merely by this life, but many lives. So what is that to become a leadership role here? We are all leaders here, let's say leaders. I think we have to really be proud of that fact. While we are leading with what? Leading with to be, to do, to see, and to tell. I think practicing the fundamentals of what it is, right? So what is that to be? what are the qualities, what are the attitudes, what is to do the role, and then to see the role and then to tell. These are the Sai words you see here. What are the attributes, right? Availability, ability, accountability, empathy, innovate, inspire, openness, oneness, unity, understanding. These are all the qualities that we have to see. We have a gap. We will share the presentation as it is to all of you. So it's meant for everybody's for consumption, to take it to your homes. So as long as you can pay attention to this, that should be great. So all of these attributes, right? I mean, so much is going on here, and how much we are really engaged in each of those bullets is a thing to discover over the next 2 years. And if you get the extension, great. 2 more years, so 4 years, and you have a 2-term opportunity. Why to miss the opportunity, right? To be is the very source of leadership, the aggregate of all there is in a person, the person's values, qualities, and knowledge, his or her total being. This is from there is Satyasai Mahavakya on leadership. I think this is a very wonderful book. If you got a chance, all the to be and all you see is the pyramid and all is from there. And then, what is the be attitude? Be a servant of God. Then all strength will be added to you. Try to be a master, then you will arouse envy, hatred, anger, and greed in everyone around you. Feel that you are an instrument in his hand. Let him shape you and use you as he knows best. I think surrendering and offering what we are here with love is the most essential thing as we embark. So who is the servant of Sai? Okay, we are talking servant. Of course, they must be eager aspirant for spiritual progress. They must have full faith in the name that the organization bears and in spreading the name in the manner suited to its message and majesty. Besides, the members must have one recognition as a good person. That is all the qualification needed, nothing else counts. I think whatever profession we are in, that doesn't really matter here. Are we a good human being? Are we humble? Are we able to help somebody, whether in the society or in home or outside, wherever it is? I think that's what matters in the organization. It's with humility is what it is. I think Ishwarama, Mother Ishwarama is a great example of that. She has sacrificed her entire life only for others, being a real example, being the mother of the divine. She could do that. Office bearers in this organization are leaders who bear the brunt themselves. I think we all go through this in some form or other. In your 2 years, you will experience, get the brunt, it's okay. It's the self-cleaning process. And so we all will get the thing. Guides who walk along the path they wish others to take, they shall not command or punish, they can only persuade or advise. And the seva, compassion, unity, spontaneity, and the willingness to sacrifice. I think those are we all are here because we all are here because we have them, or we are embarking into acquiring those. So either way to take it. While serving others through the center, do not forget to do some sadhana for your own advancement. Service of others is a negative pole. Service of oneself is the positive pole. And when they meet, the flash of bliss emanates. I think we are here for our own transformation. I think that's the fundamental thing. I mean, we may outwardly it may look that we have a role, a president. Yes, we're running an organization. There's a lot of governance when it comes to Swami. Everything is governance. Everything are rules. Everything are guiding principles. We cannot deviate from those. So for that, we have a role to play. And it's outward looking, but personally, we are here for our own transformation. I think we should not forget that aspect of it. Each office bearer must take an oath from the very depths of their heart before engaging themselves in the service activities. I think we all took this oath. I'll read it on behalf of all of you. Swami blessed me with the skill, intelligence, and enthusiasm necessary for the task I am dedicating myself to carry out for my own upliftment. Guide me along the correct path, shower on me your grace that I may earn a fair name in this attempt. Guard me from temptation and wrong steps. So, I think this is something we have to reflect and practice, I guess. Feel that you are an instrument in His hands. Let Him shape you and use you as He knows best. Every action within the role becomes a chance to express our devotion to Him. Leadership becomes a sadhana, which is for our own transformation. I think we undertake so many projects day in, day out, serve our own center members and the community. Take it as a chance to express your devotion to Swami. I think that's very important. And that devotion with love. How can you consciously live Swami's teachings in the role He has entrusted us? What are some tools that Swami has equipped us with? Watch. Always be careful and watch the watch. Right? The words, actions, thoughts, character, heart. So the ABCs of Swami's teachings. Demonstrate unity in thought, word, and deed. Have a pure heart and mind. Always keep God and the practice of higher values at the forefront of their thinking. Effective and loving communication. I think these are. And then when we took the survey, when we asked you while registering, a lot of questions have come. How to be unity has been one of the great topics. A lot of questions have come. How to be united. Conflicts happen within officers groups. I think Swami talks about that. Be the five fingers and make them be united, right? Don't hold the tumbler like this. Don't separate them. Hold them like this, right? He gives example. It's a video. I don't want to play. We all know it. So it's not holding a tumbler like this, and I'm still able to hold, but it's holding like this. And during you will have your weekly meetings amongst your officers, right? Whatever happens, you agree to agree, you agree to disagree. Doesn't matter. But when you walk out of that meeting, whatever decision we agreed to in the meetings, we have to live by that. And the integrity of the officers meeting that you hold should not be taught to your spouses, to friends, whoever you are close with. You know what happened in that meeting? Oh, this guy said like that, she said like that. Oh, they were fighting. You know, the integrity of the officers amongst us, whatever we talk, we talk. We may disagree, that's fine too. I may disagree with Ram, that's fine. But I agree to disagree, that's okay. But when I come out of the meeting is over, and whatever we agreed is what we agreed. And then we'll follow through the actions that will lead to a project or a center or whatever it is. Don't gossip about what happened in the officers meeting outside of the officers meeting. We have to hold our integrity. That's the fundamental thing. That's when the unity percolates. Then there are so many BPCs in the science centers. Trust me, if you tell one, it will go to everybody. Don't even think that it will not go. You know what Ram said about Madhav? All this will come in the future. No, but we spoke, okay, what's wrong with everybody? But everybody is talking about us because gossip. So it happens. We are humans. So something very important, integrity within the officers. What a single individual cannot accomplish, a well-knit group or society can achieve. Let me tell you that nothing is impossible if an organized society is set on achieving it. All are sparks of the divine. I think if you look at the Dallas event conference, some of you were there last time. That conference happened after 10 years. The last one happened in 2015, the ninth one. The last one happened after 10 years. And Chicago was one of the contender to host such an event. But somehow we didn't win it when the thunder was taken by Dallas. And I don't even know, when I went there, hey, would have pulled such an event, right? I mean, what they have demonstrated that day as one region, one team is great. So great things are possible only if you are united. So that's a classic example that just happened a year ago. You should recognize that along with you as an individual, there is also the society and the community. We are not living solely for ourselves. We are not living solely for the sake of our family. We are living for the sake of the world. Having been born in the community, how can you go away from the community? This is the right opportunity for you to regard that service to the community is service to God. So who is the real doer? We are only His instruments carrying out His will whenever and however He chooses. Response plus ability. I think that's what we need to pray every day. So, in conclusion, right, it is give the focus on your own self-transformation, the attitudes, qualities, and role. I think those are the three things that we keep fighting ourselves internally. But the focus should be on self-transformation. Don't think that we are transforming the center and the community. No, we are not. We are not here for that. We are only here to transform ourselves. If I am a better person tomorrow, then hey, Madhav is better than what he was before. With this role has really cleansed him, I'll be happy. If people can see me that way. So our team as an office bearer is nothing more than a journey towards self-transformation. You can take it from a role to an attitude to qualities, or qualities to attitudes to a role. Either way you mix these three, doesn't matter. But it is all about including those three elements. So with that, I'll move on to a little bit of brief. As officers, you should know the basics of who we are as an organization. So see, 1950, inauguration of Prashanti Nilayam. From there on, the first World Youth Conference in 1997. I was talking about the bottom one pre-World Conference, 10th World Conference, and then the Centennial 11th, 2015 to 2025, right? That's a huge gap. And then 2017 updated SSO guidelines, 2019 updated SSO guidelines again. So a lot happened. They're constantly refining it based on what is needed. The structure of the organization, right? The Satya Sai World Foundation and the Prashanti Council. So the Prashanti Council is what we all are roll up to. And it has got 10 zones. And then the international regions and regional councils will come to picture. There are 30 committees, the European Committee, the ISCE committee, a lot of committees. I'll share it with you, then you can zoom in and see when you have some time. To look at what is important for us, right? These are the 10 zones. Go to the next slide. So we are zone 1. The entire world is divided into zones, and then zone 4 is India, and so on and so forth. But our focus is on zone 1. So within zone 1, we roll up to the National Council, that is the USA National Officers Team, and the SSIO USA, and then Harish Naidu, he was here, so he's part of the Prashanti Council, the president of the Prashanti Council. And then Alex Grana and Aparna Chituri and their team is part of the National Officers Team. And then if you look at the next slide, this is where we come into picture. So we are region 5. So we have 27 centers and groups. One of the largest, we have to be very proud of it. While we take pride of it, we also have a lot of responsibility. You have 11 states. If you are from, I'll quickly call the states. If you are here, just say Sairam. We'll see how louder it gets. Anybody from North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa,
Sairam.
Wisconsin,
Sairam.
Indiana, Ohio. Okay, let's do Illinois.
Sairam.
Okay, let's do Michigan. Thank you. So,
Iowa.
Never Scott, yeah. So, in terms of numbers, right? Okay, but let me tell you, introduce the team as we speak here. So we have Ram Katuri, is our Vice President. Madhu Ramanmurthy is our Division Coordinator. Suresh Rama is our SSC Coordinator. And then Mr. Sai Krishna is our Service Coordinator. And then we also have the wings. The Women's Wing Coordinator is Salija Pranavaji. And then Elvira Care, Hema Bamdipati. And Sai Ranagiri Kancharla. Then we have our strong YA reps here, Sai Dutta, and Dylan Gopi. And this year, we also added the IT coordinator. The region is so big, so there is a huge need for an IT coordinator. So Raghu Muralidharan, he will also play a role of archival coordinator. We will attach him to the SSIO. So a lot of activities, lot of things that we are doing. We want to make sure that it is processed well. And then we also have Ramesh Malati as YA advisor and Manjula Group as YA female advisor. And we also have Manjula acting as the media coordinator for the region. So time and again, she might call you for a lot of information to publish in articles. So she's the one who's driving all that. Then this talks about the centers, just to give a glimpse of it. So we have the 27 centers, and there are only a few groups here, but most of them are centers. When we call center has a structure. You've got an officer, vice president, service coordinator, devotion coordinator. At least the basic 5 coordinators are available in a center. Groups may not have it. Groups may have only a group leader, and who he or she may be running abandoned sessions or a study circle. Not a full-fledged SSC programs and things like that. That's why they are called groups. So I want that every center and every unit complementary to it must be bubbling with joy at the work already achieved and with enthusiasm for the work ahead. Love, respect, tolerance, mutual cooperation, forbearance, these must flow from the hearts of each to all. Beautiful. So the centers, the purpose, the key practices and outlook, right? So main instrument towards Satyasai organization goals, hub to practice his teachings, distribute system for Swami's grace, right? So most importantly, the purpose is, we all talked about enough about the self-transformation aspect of it. There is a focus, but following SSIO guidelines, I think that is so important. I'll tell you, I'll also read out Swami's quote, how he says to follow through the dot and dash of it, you know. So if you want, we can always recirculate, refresh time and again to go over the guidelines. Make sure you go through the guidelines of your respective wings. So that's very important. Dive deeper, but so much content is there. But at least read the wing-wise thing, so that you will be able to understand it better to apply. Because you'll have a lot of answers all of a sudden. Why should somebody comes and asks you, why is it like that? Why is it like that? Why is this? Why are you? Hey, it is the guideline. It is not me. It is the guideline. So the rules are meant for spiritual discipline. Whether it is separation of men should be on one side, women should be on one side, including Swami's chair should be on the men's side. These are Swami's chair also, right? Including Swami's chair should be on the men's side. So something Swami wants to practice before he teaches. That's important to him. So these are written. So and then participation in all wings, and we'll talk about the wings in a little bit. And then non-solicitation of funds. I think there's no scope for any fundraising event or things of that nature. We'll talk a little more. So welcoming to all, universal as its teachings, unity of faiths, simplicity at all levels, focus on Swami's message. Right? I think that's the outlook. So, who is a member? What are the qualifications? According to Swami, he or she should be an eager aspirant of spiritual progress, full faith in the name of Sai, recognition as a good person. That's the only thing that requires a member. If somebody thinks they have that, they're a member. There is, some centers, larger ones have a membership form so that you can know what's your interest, what are your interests. Do you want to you're a doctor, so you can help in the medical camp. If you are a singer, you can help in the music thing. What, so on and so forth. We just capture so that it's all the demographic aspect of it, but nothing really to do. But what are the important thing is these three. No dues, fees, or financial expectations, at least 18 and above of age, follow guidelines, the 9-point code of conduct, and the 10 guiding principles. 9-point code of conduct we all know, but there are also 10 guiding principles. I'll send it out in a separate slide in the interest of time. And then regular practice in all activities, or in activities, what I'm saying, in all activities as much as we can. And then the wings, right? The primary wings are the three: service, education, and devotion. And that got expanded into ladies wing, Vaya wing, and Embryo care. I think these are the 6 fundamental focus we will have. So the next slide talks about devotion. We have a breakout, the following, when I end, I think we'll have each wing will come and present. That will really give you, if you are a service coordinator or education coordinator, I think the messaging that aspect of it, right, would really resonate to what is that you have to take home. That is the intent of this orientation. Somebody asked, what is the orientation towards? The orientation is towards Swami, number one. Then orientation toward the roles. And there are 2 attributes to it. So we didn't call it training here. So the national team called it training, but we are trying to orient ourselves towards the sun, towards the moon, which is Swami. That's the whole purpose of being here. I thank you very much for being here in person. Some of you traveled. I think but many could not. We have about 126 officers. I think about 60 are here. I hope to see all of them back for the Labor Day retreat, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But education and the service aspect, as the social care, educare, healthcare, neurocare, and the humanitarian relief, all that rolls up through the service organization. You will hear more from Sai Krishna. So the working in conjunction with the service is so critical in many of the aspects that we really go out, reach out to the community. Then the SSC, the study and practice of Sai teachings, the study circles outside of US, it's all part of the education wing, but here we combine mostly with devotion, because mostly catering to the senior members of the organization, not to SSC, right? So there's a difference the way the study circles are conducted, or under which category it comes, right? So, and then the ladies section, activities by, for ladies, initiation based on center need and interest. It's all governed and being done by what is required by the members. And then the YS, this has been a huge focus and a huge success, how they drive all of us. I have to really commend both our YS, UN and Sai Dutta. They are very open in our discussions. They just don't care, they just give feedback very bluntly. No. I mean, they don't care, meaning they care to give feedback. They don't care to hesitate, you know. And they're, uncle, this is that, can you change this? See, that kind of level of participation by them, we don't have to worry about what happens to Sai centers in the future, right? I mean, it's all taken care of already. So, I really like when everybody gives feedback, we all did a lot of presentation prep for these sessions, right? All of us, so that everybody knows what is going on, gives feedback, and then it's so amazing to see you and Sajanta giving such a wonderful feedback now and then. So I commend for their active participation, and then bring all your 192 or whatever number of SSC ingredients you have in the region to Labor Day, and then we'll show the strength to everybody. Then promote harmony among members. You cannot avoid making distinctions such as president, coordinator, member. However, these distinctions are functional only and have no place at the spiritual level. God is present equally in all, from the president to the ordinary member. You should recognize this oneness. I think once we are here for bhajans, we are here for bhajans. Doesn't matter, I'm singing as a president or vice president, doesn't really matter who we are. End of the day, we are here as one team. Our roles have a responsibility. I think I talked about the governance aspect of it, which is so critical. I think let's leave it at that. So, and then rules, regulations, and guidelines. Do not consider the rules as restrictions imposed by me or as shackles on your freedom of action. They are devised to help you and others in the sadhana you have entered upon. Two guidelines peculiar to this organization you should not neglect. Act and then advise. Practice first, pursue second, unless you yourself avoid the evil habits and the undesirable practices, don't talk against them. The rules and regulations that we have laid down for the organization and its units must be observed scrupulously down to the smallest dot and dash. This is how emphatic Swami is. So it's so important that our roles have so much of governing power to follow his mission, to follow his guidelines. But how we deliver it, I know when you talk rules, discipline, rules, it may offend people, but the role, the cleansing is how effectively we communicate that to our members, how lovingly we can, how much lower we can go down to message it so that people follow, right? You need not be harsh, you need not be upset, you need not be angry, you want to yell at people. How do we convey that to message to people? It's very important. Because it is Swami's guiding principles. It is not that we have laid down anything. We are not laid down anything, we are just following the book. All the rules and disciplines have been prescribed for helping you in the spiritual effort. They are intended for your benefit, not for heightening my authority. So far as I am concerned, there is only one rule that binds you to me, the rule of love. The love will inspire you, instruct you, quieten you, and comfort you. I think bottom line is that. Administrative versus spiritual. So members from Western countries do not seem to favor the rules of the Sai organization, which lays down that at bhajans, group singing, and at other meetings, men devotees should sit apart from women devotees. The rules should be applicable to all members, whether they are Indians or non-Indians, in India or elsewhere. It is a part of the spiritual discipline that is necessary for devotees. It is all Swami's course only. Swami is really driving this meeting here. Every slide is Swami's court, every time. There's so much, right? I mean, so it's amazing the way national team was put together. I'm repurposing it for our own benefit here. And then, most important part, the financial matters. Fund collection is as much opposed to this movement as fire is to water. If you yield on this point, spiritual advance will perish. There are no membership dues or fees for any activities. All service projects are carefully discussed by members to ensure the projects are within the resources of the center. Members can contribute making anonymous, voluntary financial donations, practicing the sealing of desires. Solicitation of public donations or raising funds are strictly opposed to necessary guidelines. So we not any project that happens, right? I mean, most of the larger centers, they create a project, ask members to contribute in the form of cash or kind in terms for the specific project. Most of the centers do, they ask people to sign up for the goods and then give it for a project, so it takes care of itself. In the President and Vice President breakout session, we'll talk more about what are the opportunities we have. We are significantly having a larger project to handle, which require larger finances. How do we handle that? What is the 501c3 opportunity that we have in case people are donating funds and they need some form of tax exemption, tax relief. There are some things of Chicago, Detroit has entered into those things. We'll not talk detail here, but at least for the president should know, Central President can know about this, and then as you see fit, we can always expand it as required. So this is the most important part. This is Advaita in practice. Treat all as Swamis and yourself too as Swami. The difficult is when the other Swami is behaving badly. At that time, you remain the good Swami. So, conflict, right? It's human. No matter what, envy, greed, somebody is doing well, popular, whatever reason, it's all creeps into our stream. I think guarding those sometimes easy, sometimes very difficult. So, in that form, when you are dealing with two people, he's also Swami, I'm also Swami, I'm the bad Swami, he's the good Swami. I think play that role and make sure that you avoid conflicts in the center. It's very, very important. As officers, I think we not only have responsibility within the officers group, but also make sure that the centers are flourishing with unity, and love, and compassion, taking service as an opportunity to bring closer to Swami and closer to themselves. I think those things have to be repeatedly emphasized again and again, right? I mean, so we have so many guest speakers came to talk about so much at length about service, but nobody shows up for service, right? I mean, we still have this problem. Bhajans, everybody will be here. 4 o'clock, yes, everybody will be here. They are full house. But same thing for service, it is very difficult to sign up. Very difficult. Study cycle, very few people. So, see, the 9-point code of conduct also talks about the studying of soil literature. So you'll not be able to really take time to study. I'm not a very bookie, but I listen to a lot of things. But study cycle gives me a means to be part of that thing, right? I mean, and then looking at the optics, the prism of it from various facets, from all the feedback that comes through. It's sometimes very amazing, some experience or some stories that comes out of it, right? So at least at 1 hour focused, people can join. So inspiring towards why you should join, what is the benefit out of it. I think these time and again, we need to keep bringing it up. So because otherwise just pushing, saying that we need to sign up is one thing. But motivating through the necessity of being in the service, because the organization is the exercise save organization. It's a spiritual organization, but focus on service so much. Right? So that with that, I did well. I think somebody challenged me that I have more slides, I'll not be able to get through. I said, no, I'll get through. So any questions? Can you present the agenda quickly? You have it there. So, following this, we have give a quick rundown of the agenda for today. We have SSC wing presentation, followed by service wing, followed by devotion. So at 10:40 we'll take a small break, 20 minutes, and come back. But devotion wing presentation by Madhu, and then YA presentation, and then women's wing, Enuro care, and then breakout for lunch at 12:20 to 1:10. And then we'll have the medical group come in and talk about. That's not on. No, it's not connected. I'm just reading it just for the sake of it. And then all the centers who are present here, we request you to. The Ram collected a lot of demographics about the center. So present what you are doing, and so the way we asked, we collected the data is. Not that what we have done in the last 2 years, but what is your vision for the next 2 years? what are the projects you wanted to engage in the devotional service, right? And whatever it is, public outreach, whatever. So we asked that. So we'll try to learn from each one of us here how centers are thinking in those aspects, right? I think let's dwell into that. That is again run by Ram, that session. And then we'll conclude with the media and IT. So what is the importance of media and what is that we are really doing? All of you should know, and how every center can contribute to the media aspect of it. And then with the IT coming into picture, we wanted to talk a lot of things related to how we wanted to clean up the satyasaycenters.org website, make it current with a lot of updates. I think Raghu will talk in detail about it. I mean, he dig deeper into it. I mean, a lot of the pages there are saying that pardon for cyber dust. So let's get it updated. I mean, if somebody somebody in Chicago and they want to visit the center, and it should be so easy for them. Where is the center? What time is it? Whom can I contact? Blah blah blah. Right? If I need any help to know about it. So we'll have update about the 27th group that we have. We'll make sure that everything is current. If I happen to be in Toledo, what is happening in Toledo? Can I attend a function? Whatever it is. So we all travel for work or pleasure, and if you have time on a Sunday, you are there for a reason. So boom, we all, at least our region is up to date. Anybody visiting from anywhere in the country, then they can get to know it. But we'll hold on to Raghu's observations and things like this. That's how the day looks like. With that, I invite Suresh Rama, our SSC coordinator. Jai Sai Ram.
My most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Satyasai. Saram everyone. Let me try it again. Saram everyone. Okay. I'm not here to teach a class, even though we as from the education wing and SSC wing were used to teach classes. So on that note, how many of you here are trained teachers? Wow, that's about more than 50%. And can you keep your hands up, please? And how many of you are actively teaching? Okay. Well, we'd like to have all those hands still stay up, but the whole idea there, why I asked that question is, we all, by the show of hands, you've shown how important the education wing is, and SSC program being part of the education wing and how important that is to be a trained teacher in order to unfold the divinity within each one of the kids that come our way. Today it's my privilege to just go ahead and really share some of the thoughts and also kind of look at who we are in the process. And thank you very much, Mother, for an inspiring start to the day. And he did a lot of the explanation of what the education wing is and the do's and don'ts of the education wing. So that takes a little bit of the wind off my sails, so that's good. And what we want to do is to just start off with introducing myself. I think many of you may or may not know who I am. And so I'm Suresh Rama from the Detroit Metro Science Center, started teaching a few years ago. And then I've taught 2, 3, and 4, currently teaching group 3. Really want to be in front of the kids and interact with them and inspire them, and that's basically what motivates me. And I'm a mechanical engineer, did my master's and PhD over here, and work at Siemens as a business development executive And this is basically who I am. And I love this quote from Swami: "Life's a game, play it, and life's a song, sing it." And I just don't need to go through the whole thing, but that's basically some of the motto. Every challenge that comes across is a refining moment for, and a transforming moment for each of us that Swami gives us, and I consider it as a blessing. And that transformation did take a long time. My journey with Swami actually started more than 40 years ago. And 40 years ago, I had a moment where I gave him an envelope, and initially he passed by me. It was, at that time, there was no cycle and all. It was right in front of the mandir. There was sand in front, and you get to go and sit in rows because you're like assigned some rows, and they're let in one by one the rows to go sit in order. I was lucky, I was in the second row, so I had this level with me, and I held it up and gave it to Swami, but he did not accept that. He just walked away. Then he turned around and he stretched his hand out, looking at me, and then grabbed it. In that letter I wrote, I'm able to at least divulge that. At that point in time, I did not talk to anybody. I did not know for what reason I wrote that I want to be a teacher. And this is just before I even came to the US. And 27 years later is when I got trained to be a teacher. So he made me wait. He did not give me the opportunity right away. And 40 years later, he's asked me, chose me to assume this role as the regional education coordinator. So I humbly stand in front of you in his service that he had bestowed upon me 40 years ago. So let's go to the next one, because at this time I do want to congratulate the outgoing SSC coordinator, who also happens to be in the room, because she never wants to leave any chance to serve Swami. And I wanted to give her a big round of applause for the wonderful contribution she's done and the wonderful inspiration that she has created among the children, and the amount and the strength of the SSC program that she has left behind is so awesome that I'm even afraid to step into the shoes that she's left behind. Why? Because I'm not sure if I'm capable, and also to be able to really take that to the next level. But she's still in part of the regional team, so I'm confident. And to support that, the previous SSC Regional Education Coordinator is also part of the regional team, Sister Cyprus Sinha, before. And so with both of them right behind me, what more can Swami tell me? Like, you know what, Suresh, it doesn't matter. You know, those two can take care of you. You just, you know, show your face, and they'll take care of you. So even today, she's texts me, have you done this? Have you done that? And I love it because she's my true sister. Only my sister can take that level of freedom and advantage. And so I really commend you and thank you. I know that she did not want me to put a picture of her at all, but I did get that in Cyprem and Lilem. I thought this was a great way for the handoff. So thank you very much, sister. General outline, I'm going to just talk about what Swami says about true meaning of education. So to get into what the education wing is all about, and then get into the role that so nicely that Brother Madhav had talked about the qualities and the attitude that define the role and as the foundational element. And last but not the least, to give a little bit overview of the general of what our SSC programs are all about, besides spiritual education. So this is what Swami talks about. Education has two aspects. The first is related to external and worldly education, which is nothing but acquiring bookish knowledge. In the modern world, we find many builders highly qualified in this aspect. The second aspect, known as educare, is related to human values. The word educare means to bring out that which is within. The 5 human values, namely truth, righteousness, peace, love, and nonviolence, are latent in every human being. One cannot acquire them from outside. They have to be elicited from within, but as man has forgotten his innate human values, he's unable to manifest them. Educare means to bring out human values. To bring out means to translate them into action. What wonderful things. And I highlighted a couple of things as a takeaway, right? It's already in there with us. So we're not here as teachers, as coordinators, teaching anything. We are uncovering, unfolding that which is already within. So what kind of a picture does this elicit in your minds? Can you close your eyes and think about a picture? And when I did that reflection, this is the picture that came to my mind. The statue is already in the wood. So profound, isn't it? Can we see the divinity in each of the kids that come across our way? And we are there as sculptors to sculpt that divinity and uncover that divinity within each kid. And that's basically our goal. And we as SSC coordinators have to enable our gurus to also be motivated in order to uncover that. And that's basically what it is. And this leads me to this wonderful, simplified word that always Swami talks about, Satchidananda. Everyone knows about it, right? Satchidananda. In English, we call it as knowledge, awareness, and bliss. Bliss, in this case, is not unending. It's unending happiness, has no limits, right? So in order to get that, we focus on knowledge. That's basically what we do in our SSC program. We basically tell all about the human values, teach them, and raise their knowledge. But what is awareness? Awareness is connecting to the divinity within. Aware that you are divine within. Not something that is given to you. Not because you pray to God that you're divine. You're already divine. That awareness, how do we do that? We do that through devoting themselves and connecting to God, devotion. Last but not the least, how do you make this everlasting awareness, everlasting? So that you can be constantly immersed in the bliss that is through practice. And that could be related to the service aspect of it. So if you look at the SSC program, it's a wholesome experience. It's not just about teaching. It's about uncovering, raising awareness, and at the end, ending in the everlasting bliss. I know that when Raghu keeps moving the slides, it means I need to keep moving on. Thank you, Raghu. So in this case, what is the education wing all about? It promotes study and practice of the teachings of Satya Sai Baba. We saw a lot of quotes that Brother Madhav put in, so I'm not going to be talking about that. And also publication of his teaching. And the next one is also, not the next slide, please. Let's go back. Yeah. SSEHV, and this is something that a lot of people have asked a question, like, is it the responsibility of the SSC wing or the education wing? When there is actually an ISSC, how many of you know what ISSC is? Yeah, Institute of Satya Sai Education. In this case, the SSC is Satya Sai Education. So please do not confuse the SSC that we talk about, that is Sai Spiritual Education. So a lot of times we always interchange that. It's the Institute of Satya Sai Education, and we have a very strong wing. So since we have that, EHV doesn't directly come in as a responsibility, but we are also have the responsibility to support the EHV program if it is something that you want to do as an outreach. And I think the president and vice presidents are going to be talking about that, and how we can support that is what we want to do. The next slide now is what we always focus on when we talk about education wing in each one of our centers is the SSC. That's only one component of the education wing. Just wanted to highlight that. But it is also the major and the most time-consuming component of each one of them. If you ask each one of the SSC coordinators, this is all they're immersed in, totally. Developing the program, growing the program, engaging the parents in the program, trying to give service opportunity to the kids. And this is basically what it is, to instill and practice the 5 human values. And that's basically what it is. It's building character through human values. And that's what Sai Spiritual Education is about. Most of you know that already. So next slide. The role of the education coordinator are all these. And it's interesting that the last one just went off the screen, and it's important also because Brother Madhav already talked about that. And one is to promote and provide the SSC program and for the kids, and also to conduct human values workshop for adults. And we kind of do this because in Region 5, we're one of the active regions that practice the parent group. And in that parent group, we already have materials published in order to promote the same values we talk about with kids to the parents, so that the kids only spend about 1 hour to 1.25 hours with the teachers, but they spend a lot more time with the parents. How do we inculcate and have that practice as a family? And that's basically where we are involving the parents. And this could grow more, of course. And support in spreading the Satya Sai education and human values to the community, and presenting proposed programs. There are lots of programs that come up. And I know that most of you are working on the Ishwara Mondays kits and things like that right now. So those are the events by which you're basically uncovering the talents and capabilities of each of the kids beyond the education and human values that you're doing through the SSC program. Last but not the least, why I highlighted that is the study circles, as Brother Madhav pointed out, is part of the education wing. At least in the US, it usually gets folded under the devotion wing for the adults. But we do have a part in doing that study circle kind of format and facilitated sessions for the side parent groups. Next slide. And here we are in basically SSC program. Most of you know this, but this is for more of some of the newer office bearers. And this is only from age 6 to 17. So if anybody basically comes in and says, I have a 3-year-old and can I put them in SSC? Some of you may have a pre-SSC program. Yes, you can accept that. But technically, that program is outside of the SSC. The pre-SSC program is not part of the SSC, just to make it very clear. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, starting with the first grade, is what the SSC program is about, and most of the guidelines are for that program. The pre-SSC is a little free format, so you can actually introduce who Swami is, what is divinity, what is spirituality, and have them really ease into that so that they can basically wrap up into the SSC program. And this is all about character development. We talked about how to unfold that character development within. So that's basically what it is. And to make this consistent is what we basically promote, the training of the SSC teachers. And that's why I started off saying, who are the trained teachers over here? And that's a very rigorous program. And it's interesting that most of you are trained. So please exercise your training to also inspire some of our SSC kids. So next slide, please. We talked about the 27 centers, and you can go to the next slide and slowly kick each one goes as I go through the centers. And we have Cincinnati, an SSC program in Cincinnati. Keep clicking on it. Columbus, Cleveland, Detroit, Ann Arbor. You have Chicago North, Chicago Metro, Chicago West. You have Milwaukee. You have Minnesota. We have Rochester. We have Des Moines, Iowa, and Lincoln, Nebraska. These are the active SSC programs going on. So Rochester is the only one. We can go to the next slide. And this is kind of giving you a little bit of the statistics of each one of the strength of the programs. We have about 362 students enrolled in the SSC program. We're the second largest following Region 10. But we have the unique distinction that was already pointed out by Brother Madhav. We have the most widest expanse of states. And so this SSC program is geographically distributed more wider than any other region. And even the larger region than us is Region 10 with 600 students. They're concentrated in 5 centers. We are across 13 SSC programs across a wide range of over 16-hour drives from end to end. And here is where if you go back to the last one, is 3 to 1, more ladies are interested in being SSC teachers than men. Kudos to all the ladies, thank you very much. And we also have a lot of YAs who are teachers, and I'm going to get to that next. And this is about what are something unique about our Region 5. We have a student council, one of the regions that has a student council. So most of the SSC programs in the Labor Day retreat and many of the programs across the entire year is run by these students and bringing the region together, gluing the region together. And also the magazines, and I think maybe when Sister Manjula comes up here, she may be talking about it. This is also a student-run program. So we have a Side Blossoms team of SSC students who run this under the guidance of advisors, and then also an SSC website that is active and maintained by an SSC student. And an online SSC program at Rochester, we are one of the unique regions to have such a program. This brings the kids who do not have access to an in-person center to bring them together. And one of our YAs is one of the lead teachers over there who is sitting here, Anushka Guru. Kudos to her, because basically she keeps them so engaged that if the substitute teacher like today has gone in, they don't like the class at all. So, next slide, please. That gives an opportunity for the young SSC students to become future Psi leaders. And how do they do that? Once they graduate, they become YAs. And this is a justification. I think Yuven and the Psi Director may be talking more about it. But I wanted to acknowledge that these are all recent graduates of SSC program who still want to stay connected to the Psi centers as YA coordinators as well as YA teachers. And I'm not going to read each one of them, but this is the level of inspiration that the SSC program does to create new future Psi leaders. And to Brother Madhav's point, the future is solid. Next. I know I have only one more minute. Parent group teaching, parent group meetings. This is something very important that we do. We have several centers, about 70% or 80% of us have parent group meetings and parent group facilitators. Next. And this is what I want to share as SSC quickly, quickly all through. There are 3 legs to the SSC: student, gurus, and parents. And what I've asked each of the SSC coordinators to share a vision of what they can do in 1 to 3 months, as well as the next year, so that they can really move the needle on any one of those, improving parent engagement, improving the growth of the students. And the key thing is growth. It is not about physical growth in numbers, but also transformational growth. So I'd like to kind of go ahead and conclude. We can go back in this, where I can really use the help of each one of the center officers, if I can get 1 more minute, is to encourage participation of your members in the SSC program. Ask them to bring their kids. Be inclusive. Be open to invite them. It is not only the responsibility of the SSC coordinator to be nice to the parents and always talk to the parents. It is each one of your responsibility, be it a regional office bearer or a center office bearer, to be welcoming of the parents. Give them opportunities to maybe sing in a bhajan, or give them opportunities to go visit them at their homes and maybe even participate in the home bhajan. They feel welcome, that they want to be there, and they become the next, or inculcate the next future generation of Psi leaders who will lead these Psi centers and keep this Psi message going alive. So I would really, really request all of you as center officers to chip in. And it's not the only sole responsibility of SSC coordinator to interact with the parents. And that's just the takeaway about all of these. So a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about how to do this, and these are some of the ways of creating it. That's about, next slide. That's all I wanted to leave with. If you go back. Yeah. It's an awesome experience. It's not only just educational, it is transformational, and through and putting it in action. That's basically the message I want to leave with. Thank you very much. Sorry for going 1 minute over.
Cyprus was pulling up. I just wanted to, so as you end this year, the SSC program, and coming back with the new in September or whatever it is, so make sure that the information about SSC program is published in the local public events or wherever it happens, right? It's a free program. Anybody can join. So the program is a wonderful thing for kids promoting human values. So make a flyer and say that Service Center of Detroit Metro is the new year is calendar year starting so and so time. Enrollment starts on so and so day, or give a link to the enrollment so they can do offline enrollment and then come and show up on the day. So see if you can reach out to public and be aware of this wonderful opportunity that the entire humanity can take advantage of it. A lot of people are looking for such avenues, right? I mean, a lot of paid programs out there, but this is selfless service, and it's so please drive that. So with that, I just over to you, sister.
My humble pronouns at the lotus feet of our dearest Bhagavan. What a lively presentation, Brother Suresh Rama and Brother Madhav, for bringing us all together for understanding why we are here. So now comes to a nice wing presentation about service. So if we can go to the next slide. So Swami has talked about the 3 different paths, right, that we can all take for really figuring out who we are, that self-transformation part of the immanence of who we are. How do we do that? So I was asking Gemini to depict that for me, and I got this beautiful picture. So thanks to Gemini for giving us most of the lively pictures here. So we know about the 3 H's, right? The head, heart, and the hand. And this is where Swami is talking about our feelings, and that's coming from our heart, right? And that's the devotion path. And we have to use the devotion path. And then we also have the head path that tells you, oh, this is right, that's wrong, I should be doing this, and all those thinking, the inquiry part. And so that is our head part, which is our spiritual wisdom. And then the action part, and which is where our hands are put into action and we do all of our service activities. These 3 can be by themselves. I know some of us like singing, some of us like to only go do service work, some of us like to read books and become intellectual people, arguing about this way or that way or debating on topics, that this is the best path to service. And I know in the national conference there was a debate about which is the best path to get to transform. But all these are intertwined. There's one single road. So we can never stop. Just like Suresh was saying, there were 3 these 3 paths, they are all intertwined, and we can't just neglect all of them. So we have to really find our ways in all these 3 paths to get that beautiful self in us just radiate through all of us. And which is our goal. And that's where we are all trying to get to, through each of the ways, whether education, service, or participating in study circles. Swami has made it so practical and easy by forming us this organization and giving us these beautiful ways of figuring out who we truly are. That's the ultimate goal, as Brother Madhav was saying earlier. So let's go to the next one. Since we heard a lot about Swami's teachings from Brother Madhav and also from Brother Suresh, let's think about if you can just share your views on why are we performing service? A moment to think and reflect. You must have gone for tree planting, or you must have gone to the soup kitchen. Why did you go? You want to show the Mentimeters going up? Oh, okay, very good. I was worried about this. Thank you, Brother. Self-transformation, transform ourselves and eliminate our ego. Personal transformation. Nice. I think we're all in a good place. So the next slide that we're going to read, we can do this later. Go to the slides, Brother. Sorry, I'm making you go back. So, as you all understood, consider selfless service as the best spiritual discipline. But while doing this, we all think, right, I want to help, I'm going to transform the world. But Swami is cautioning us, But do not believe that you can, by means of service, reform or reshape the world. You may or may not, that does not matter. The real value of selfless service, its most visible result, is that it reforms you and it reshapes you. So when we become service coordinators or when we become the center president, we are always attracted towards how much more can I do? And I'm really going to, our region did so many services, we did so many activities, we planted so many trees. We always say that, we are happy about it. But I think we can share it with that humble opinion that Swami made it happen. And in that process, what happened to me when I was doing it? Sai will always ask us that question when we attend the Enviro Care meetings. So it was a good way of starting those meetings, thinking about what happened to me while doing that. And so that's the part I think we really have to focus on in the service. And that's my goal of the presentation too. So I'm a service coordinator in a center, okay, like me too. And if I'm the service coordinator, who am I serving? First, I have to serve myself. I know Brother Madhav touched upon it. We have to just do the EASE program that Sister Rama taught so many of us. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to eat responsibly. We have, what are the three things? Attitude positively, sleep deeply, and then exercise regularly. She's drinking water, so drink water enough. So good health for us, because we have to be a good instrument to perform the service. First, the role is to serve myself. And then, who am I serving? My family. If my family is not doing well, I can't even get out of the house, right? But sometimes, there are many of us who think, oh, I have so many responsibilities in my house that I can't do any service. That's where we have to think. Really, do we have all the time that we can do? Be practical, it's not possible. There are so many questions like that, right? But Swami gave us this is all from Swami 6. First, we have to take care of our family next. And then whom are we serving? We are serving our center members. We are serving our children in the SSC program. We are serving our youth. And then, this is our beautiful organization. Swami has given us this opportunity to serve all of them. So that's our service. And then beyond that, we can really make sure that we reach out to the community and work with non-NGOs or other things, so we can really expand that consciousness that we have with everyone else. Because it is the joy of service that we are trying to expand. Not because I want to show that I have done so many things. Everyone should have that experience of transformation. This noble expectation is set with the service coordinator. As my role, I'm going to serve myself, my family, my center, my members, and the community. So if you can think like that, I think it's going to take the entire world into a self-transformation state. And that's what we want to achieve. You can go to the next one. Okay, some fun activity. SAI. We just call it anything we want, right? We call it serve and inspire, service, adoration, and illumination. I want you to think about it. Use your creativity and tell us, from a service perspective, what does SAI stand for you? Every answer is correct. We want to collect a compendium of what that SAI backronym is. Well, we always say acronym, right? This is called backronym. Knowing a word SAI, you're trying to give it another meaning. So this I learned from Gemini too. So. Thank you, Brother Raghu. You're switching between screens. Self-analysis instrument, serve and inspire. Sai first, others. Others. Next, I last. Good. Sai and I. Nice. Sai always inside. Serve and improve. Selfless action, inner transformation. Beautiful. Sai aspirations and instruments. Self-action, inspiration. School work assistance initiative. Excellence. Very nice. Nice projects that we have. Beautiful. Thank you. So you all thought about how you can apply the SAI backronym towards service, right? So this is where I came up with this, and also I should give a shout out to Brother Suresh Govind. I was telling him I'm going to be the regional service coordinator. What do you think I should be thinking about? Then he gave me a nice feel of what all I should be doing, and I've incorporated some of this into our presentation. So the first one is, as a service coordinator, I have to sensitize the need. And I think Brother Yuval gave me feedback. He said, why don't you call it survey the need? That's correct. We have to survey the need too, but we also should feel that compassion for it. Sensitize the need. Oh my God, they need this help. I have to do something about it. So it's that passion that we have for someone who needs that help. So sensitize the need for myself first, and then I have to talk to my membership and my fellow officers, the president and vice president, to figure out, is this something that we can really do? So the process, I think people need to know, how do we bring a service project into a center? So first sensitize the need, and then bring it to your center members. So how do we do that? Like, we have gone to JPUSA and our Detroit Metro and so many other service project places for so many years together. Like, it would have been decades that we are serving the same place. And we serve them good food, which is essential for every time we do it. But what more can we do? Can we look deeper into the places that we are going? And I know in the past, Sai Sripaz talked about the X+1 effect. You go to one place, but you do something more that's needed for the people over there. So how do we think about that? So sensitizing that need, if you have the drishti to look for those things, the srishti will happen, which means you'll find a means of doing that. So let's do that sensitization first, and then we have to act. And this is the fun part. How do we act? We have to figure out with our membership and president, is this something we can do? Do we have the T to do it? So this T is another acronym. T stands for T, do we have the time? Do we have the energy? Wow, I want to serve. And do I have the ability, the capacity? Like if we are doing a health fair, do we have doctors in our team that can help? Or can we bring other people? If you're doing something related to a particular project, do we have the person who knows about the project to help us? So that's the ability. Think about what excellent things our membership can offer. And if you're a teacher, can this teacher really connect to the student to help? So probably recruit them for a tutoring project. So think about those needs and think about, do we have the T? Once we have the T, then we decided we want to go to do it. Now we have to hold on to Swami. So easy, right? Have T and hold on to Swami. That's all you need to do to act. But how do you hold on to Swami? Whenever we do this project, have you seen people get burnout in Swami's organization? Oh my God, I'm so stressed. I can't do this now because I have too many things on my plate. Have you heard that? And when we were teaching time to our students, Brother Karthik is a co-teacher with me, and Swami says, if someone says, I don't have time, he's a fool. I mean, it doesn't sound very practical to us, but then that's what Swami said. Then maybe we have to introspect and think, I'm saying I don't have time, this is not practically possible. But am I a fool now? Well, let's think about it and we'll figure it out. And then we'll all find answers from within. So what does whole acronym stand for? I'm doing every activity that comes to me with happiness, with joy. Because that's the transformation I want for myself and others that participate in it. And then the other one is O. This is a beautiful opportunity that God Swami has given for me, and I'm going to take the best out of it. And what is L? It's a larger purpose. It's not just for my people, my family, not my center, but you're thinking big. Because people don't have enough insurance, and there's so many things that are, with all these things that are happening in the world now, people can't even come out for help. And so if you're thinking like that in a compassionate way, then we are thinking about a larger purpose of not helping just people we know, but people whom we don't know also. So keeping that in mind, and then finally, Swami gave us this Srishti, and we have to dedicate this to Swami. So when we do that, that's going to be the whole. Thank you, brother. The last part is what we have to think about inquiry. We can go to the next one. I'm only explaining it. So So this is important to keeping up time. So the feelings of when we do a project, how many of us have come back and thought about what did this project do for me? Did something happen to me? All the people who participated? That inquiry and integration is really important for every service project. So when you serve the person, how did that person feel? Do they feel like this Sai center that comes every week is reliable and I can depend on them? So that type of a feeling we should really analyze and understand. And the next slide we can go. The real service comes from removing the self out of it. And how can we remove the self out of this selfless service? So that's that ghosty figure, that's a real lie that we'll have to take out. Let's go to the next one. I know I'm going to invite Brother Sai Chalapa to be talking about Sai Tutoring Program. So looking ahead, what all opportunities do we have? We have the gift of education where we can give it to so many people through the online tutoring program that's happening in our region and it's growing really well. And Brother Sai Charjapa or Sai Chalapa will come and talk about it because he's got so much of Sai energy in him. And enrichment program is something that's happening in the Chicago area that's done. This time Hiranmay is leading it with an efficient group of volunteers from WISE. And then good health for all is another vision we have where I know in our region, Des Moines does health fair almost 13 years now, Rama, in your place, every year. And then there's also the Sai Free Clinic that many of our members are participating in. That's happening as a new model that Geeta will probably talk about in the afternoon. And so many wellness programs, even the EASE program that Sister Rama has been telling the whole world about is a way we have to continue to expand it to the community. And that's a possibility. And we already do the serving our fellow beings here. And the senior service is also an important thing. Sai Cares is a internal service program where members of our organization can request for help. So we'll talk about that more. We'll invite Brother Sai Chalapa to come and talk about the Sai Tutoring program. And then the other slides are same as what Brother Madhav said, so I can be done with this. Thank you. Sai.
I offer my humble pranams at the Divine Lotus feet of the Swami. Saran everyone. I'll make it quick. And this online tutoring is being done in other regions too. And here we already have some teachers, Anushka, Saidata, Sister Manjula, Redasema. They're already teaching regularly, at least 1 hour a week. Anusha is teaching 2 hours a week. And we have a good protocol where we do background checks for teachers. And these are all needed when you go and reach out to the schools and other refugee organizations. They also, even for us, when we expect somebody to teach our students, we make sure that their background is good. And so this credentials, we have some legal formalities we take care. I don't have time to explain all those things now, but we have some DocuSign forms where we give it to the students, the refugee students and lower income students, parents to sign to. And so basically, it's like giving life to the students. This is one of the examples of Anushka students. You can zoom this later. That's the highest score that student has got, and mom cried that this is the highest score my student has ever got. But you see that that's advanced. It's the highest, one of the highest scores any student can get. That's how she has reached from a lower level. We have seen so many students go from F grade and D grade to B grade and things like that. And the population there is increasing. We started advertising 2 years back, but only now the momentum is gained. And we spread flyers. Can you go to the next slide? Just to give her this thing is, we give printed visiting cards and show some samples in all the food service and other organizations in schools. We go and approach, give these things and flyers, and whoever wants contacts us and we go further. So we are looking for more teachers, and there is a good protocol. You can all do it in other centers too. And feel free to contact us, and we'll go through that. And that's it. With respect time, we'll talk about this later. Yeah. Currently, we have 18 students, 2 students by Anushka, 1 by Anushka, and Mrs. Manjula, Saidata, and even we have donated, it all by Swami times that we have a member in our center whose company is giving them old laptops for cheaper rate. He got it and he donated to some students where they don't have good laptops for online tutoring. So it's all happening by Swami's grace. Everything is, whenever we get a new student, we also get a new teacher. Anusha is very good in getting more teachers for us, and that's how it's happening. Right now we have 18, but it's growing. You just have to come and it's all from, right now we have from first grade to 12th grade. Once you come, Anusha and Sister Manjula, they're all there to help you out, to where to get the material, how to train yourself. You don't need any qualification. Like Swami has said, once you give your availability, he gives you the ability. So that's all you need.
Why is going to be talking about that, brother?
Oh, okay. All right, Saira, thank you for that.
So at this time, we'll take a 20-minute break. We'll be back at 11 sharp. And as you are here today, so make sure you meet people, get to know people from other regions, especially your own respective wings, bond with them. I think this is very important. I think that's why we are networking is the key to collaborate. Sairam, everyone. Welcome back from the break. My humble pranams. Swami's lotus feet. Okay. Thank you. This is, we are going to now, the next session is on the devotion wing. So let me start with a small confession, if that's okay. So, like many of us sitting here, I also, when I walk into a bhajan hall, attending a bhajan, I walk in with highest level of devotion, with sincerity, with commitment, and then I start the bhajans. First 10 minutes, it's like deep, deep devotion. I tear up sometimes, I sing, clap. Sometimes I even feel like Swami is going to walk out of the picture and give me darshan. Right? And that's the level of devotion. First 10 minutes with full sincerity. That probably tops like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and then the mind wavers. Oh my God, is this person singing on scale? Oh, is the harmonium person missing a note? Or is Akhil missing a beat? Like, no, that doesn't happen. So the mind wavers, and then for 3 or 4 minutes it goes somewhere, and then again I pull the mind back. Okay, that's not I should be focusing on. I should be focusing on Swami, and then pull the mind back, and then again Sairam, I go back. Again that 7-8 minutes. Did I send an email? Or what's up for dinner? And again, the mind wave goes back somewhere, and then I have to pull it again back. Right? So it's a constant battle that I go through, and I've heard that from others too. So that very simple act of pulling your brain back again and again to focus on Swami, that is the exact devotion wing in action. That's exactly what is all about devotion wing. Because there are so many distractions that we see around us in the current age, with all the social media and all the things. There are 100 things that can distract us, and that's why it is all the more important that we leverage all the tools that Swami has given us as part of the devotion wing to bring the mind back. Because Swami calls it, it's a monkey mind, right? It just jumps from branch to branch. Like sometimes we do meditation. We are physically present. Like sitting erect and sitting quiet without any movement, closing your eyes, that's not meditation. Meditation is, Swami says, it's about how do you focus your thoughts? How do you align all of your thoughts and energy to Swami? That's what is meditation. So that's what is another tool, right? Group singing is another tool. So Swami has given this repertoire of all the tools and the devotion wing as devotional coordinators and people who are part of this wing. It's our duty to first self-transform and then leverage those tools and help others to leverage those tools to achieve that. Right. So Swami, I'm sure a lot of us have heard several discourses. As a student in Vrindavan, I vividly remember the very first discourse I heard from Swami. Swami was talking about, he was quoting from the Hindu philosophy about various paths that lead to liberation, moksha. So anyone, it's 3 or 4 paths. Anyone who can take a guess? One of them? Correct. Bhakti marga. Karma. Jnana. One more? No. It's dhyana. So Swami, I remember. So Swami compares these paths. Like he says that the karma marga, which is selfless action, selfless service. So he compares karma yoga to a bullock cart ride. A bullock cart ride, Swami says, bullock cart ride is
slow, but steady. And then Swami compares Jnana Marga to fastest. It takes you to the liberation the fastest. It's like Swami compares it to an airplane ride. But Swami says it is also super risky. And then Swami says, Bhakti Marga is a happy blend between your Karma Marga and Jnana Marga, because it is not only fast and it is also safe. Any takers on why Swami says Jnana Marga is the fastest, but it is also risky.
The ego.
Yes. Because Swami says in both Jnana Marga as well as Karma Marga, there is this I present, right? Like in Karma Marga, like, oh, I am doing this service, I am doing this. No matter how much we feel that we are doing selfless service, there is still this my hand, like I am doing it. So it's not easy to get rid of that I. And then if you take the Jnana Marga, right, it's about reading scriptures and then acquiring knowledge and wisdom, and even there, this ego creeps in, right? Oh, it's I am that pride comes in, right? So you are still dependent on yourself, whether it is Karma Marga or Jnana Marga. So it's first you, then you are seeking God's help. Whereas in Bhakti Marga, the framework, the very framework, Swami says, is based off love. Because love is an innate, it's a human nature, it's a human emotion that comes natural. So that love helps you to activate that surrender to God. So once you surrender to God, it crushes all the ego. Once the ego is crushed, that's where you start to have that self-realization. So Swami says that in Bhakti Marga, God is the one who is taking you and helping you to reach, because you have already surrendered. Like there is no I'm not trying to do this. I need to get better before I seek God's help. Like very first minute, like God is there to take it. It's like Swami compares it to how a cat carries its kitten in its mouth. Like when you fall in a Jnana Marga, Swami says look at how damaging or how it will be if you fall from an airplane, right? Whereas if the cat is carrying you, it wouldn't drop. Even if it drops, you're going to land safe. So that's why Swami says Bhakti Marga is the safest and fastest. But at the same time, Swami also says it doesn't mean that other margas are not important, right? Swami always says, Swami says the feet represents karma, your head represents jnana, and the heart represents bhakti. You cannot live without all three, right? But at the same time, in the Kali Yuga, in this age, Bhakti Marga is the easiest way with Namasmaran, and Swami is given all the other tools for us to achieve that self-realization. So, yeah, thank you. So I don't want to. We will share this slide, but I can quickly read. Like devotion bhakti means directing the pure and unsullied mind towards God. People do not know the real meaning of love. The love you have for other beings is only temporary. God is the only one that is eternal. Love of God is bhakti. Whatever scholarship one may attain, whatever power and position one may enjoy, one cannot be happy without the peace of mind that is got by pure devotion. Moving on to the next slide. So the devotion wing, as I said, the objective of the wing is for us to facilitate or invoke all the tools that are part of the devotion wing, whether it is group devotional singing, prayers and meditation, interfaith activities. There are multiple things that we do as an organization. It is all focused on one thing, to focus on God. So if you for example, if you take the Swami says in Krita Yuga, the path to achieving moksha is by any guesses?
Yeah.
It's more by I think jnana. So Treta Yuga is the one that is Treta Yuga. The moksha is attained by yajna. or sacrifices and rituals and all the spiritual practices. And then Dwapara Yuga is about worship, archana, right? You focus on the deities, the temples, so that's Dwapara Yuga. And then Kali Yuga is all Namasmara. So that's how Swami puts it. And then Swami emphasizes so much on Namasmaran. And the Namasmaran is not about just about the individual Namasmaran. It is the group devotional singing. Swami emphasizes so much on the group singing because in one of the discourses, I think of Satya Sai speaks, Swami has very clearly mentioned how much of this group singing creates that charged atmosphere where you cleanse with or even without your knowledge, your mind, body, and soul, they get cleansed. Every time you attend a group singing, whether it is Akhanda Bhajan, whether it is Shivaratri Bhajan, whether it is any form of group singing, it cleanses your mind, body. So that's why Swami emphasizes so much on group devotion singing. And then we covered the prayers and meditation, and then interfaith activities. Swami emphasizes so much on that. Like Swami says, so many there can be so many religions, but there is only one God, right? Like Swami compares to how so many rivers, they originate from different parts of the earth, and then they all merge in one ocean, right? So Swami emphasizes so much on interfaith activities. So from an organization standpoint, so as devotional wing, as part of the devotional wing, our focus is on how do we promote more and more inclusion, more and more focusing on multi-language, multi-religion, bhajans, and even prayers. So we are already doing that. We need to emphasize more on that. So, and then newcomers programs is another important activity from a devotion wing standpoint, because sometimes we all assume that, oh, everybody, like we just because some of us have been in Swami's fold for decades, and we have had the privilege of being in Swami's fold, or some of us have seen Swami in his physical form, so we get to fall into the trap of assuming that everybody else also knows. Right? So it's as a member of the organization, especially from a devotion wing standpoint, it's very important that we help others to also get educated on Swami's organization, Swami's literature, and what we do and what we represent as Swami here. So that's an extremely important step. And then sadhana camps and retreats. I know we all are part and parcel of all the annual retreats. We all look forward to that. So whether it is Nagar Sankirtans, or it's about the bhajans or music programs or suprabhatam, so the devotion wing plays such a critical role. And we are indebted and grateful for others who support us in doing that. So every time the bar goes up, so we are going to have a wonderful retreat this year. I don't want to steal Madhav's thunder, so we have a key speaker coming and raising us this year. I'm not going to reveal the name. Madhav will do that later. So can we move on to the next slide? So as a devotional coordinator, what are the responsibilities? So coordinating devotional meetings and practice of devotional singing, helping members to understand the benefits and practice of meditation, establishing, maintaining activities to welcome newcomers, we spoke about it, maintaining the mandir and the altar, and then updating on the devotional wing activities. So we all pretty much are familiar with all the things that we do. But there are a couple of things that go beyond just this list of activities, right? The first and foremost, to me, is practice what you are preaching. Are we walking the walk as the leaders in the devotion wing? Are we walking the walk? Are we walking the talk? So that's the most important thing, to practice what we preach. As Madhu mentioned, Madhu quoted one of Swami's teachings, like it's not about you sing well to impress someone, or it's not about helping others, it's you're helping yourself. Am I transformed? Am I transforming? Am I in that path first? And am I living those values even outside the bhajan hall? So that's what every devotion coordinator's role is to make sure that we set an example to others in terms of following the organization rules that the Swami has laid out very clearly, the 9-point code of conduct. Are we living up to it? And are we setting an example to others? So practice what we preach is important. And then the second thing is egoless service. So egoless service is another most important thing for us to follow, to make sure that we maintain that, I would say, primarily, or the spiritual fortitude, to make sure that we are balanced all the time. So these are the values that is important for us to, from as a devotional wing, as devotional coordinators, to make sure that we imbibe those. Can we move on to the I'm going to skip that. So what we did is, as part of a pre-workshop, so some of all the devotional coordinators from Region 5, we discussed on what are the key themes, what are the key topics that we want to address that are kind of bubbling up as common topics to be addressed. So these are the 4 things that emerged. How do we improve quality of devotional singing? How to engage SSC parents during SSC sessions, so we probably may have to partner with other wing members. How to increase awareness about Swami and about the organization for new members, we spoke about the new programs. And then how do we improve our overall quality and inclusion from a Labor Day retreat standpoint. So we are going to talk about these themes during the breakout session with all the other devotional coordinators from the region. So with that, I know I'm probably 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes. So my only my closing remark is that it's extremely important to note that whether it is devotion, whether it is service, whether it is SSC, so all these activities that we do, sometimes we all fall into the trap thinking that it's the starting and ending of everything. So it's not. Like it's very important to note that this is a means to an end. So devotion is a means to an end. Service is a means to an end. That end is to realize that you are one with Swami. The focus is Swami. It's about your own self-transformation. That is the end goal. So all these are tools or enablers to make that happen. Sam.
Yes, Sairam everyone. Sairam. Very nice to see everyone and meeting some new faces today. My name is Yuben. Alongside me is Sai Data. I think Rafi is here just to clap for me. But we like the duo for Region 5 YNFs, and we both energized to be part of Swami's mission. I mean, looking forward to getting chiseled by Swami, like the image that Suresh Uncle just had up there, to become a better self, the next version of ourselves. So over the next 15, 20 minutes, we want to do 3 things. One is go through some of the foundationals of who are the whys, an overview of the whys across the region, what are the qualities that should be lived by YA. The second thing is we look back at some of the initiatives that were driven by the YA initiatives over the last year to 2 years. And then thirdly, looking forward, what are our goals as the regional YA team? And we got this feedback talking to the YAs. We had one-on-one sessions with them already. Okay, but moving on, right? So, who are the YAs, right? Everyone has a perception. of what Hawaii is, right? This is one of the things, right? Others think of you. Our young brothers and sisters showing up for the big events, coming for the free food. Maybe some of it is true. Right? But it's more than meets the eye. Good.
I like the dabbas.
So this by the administrative definition of Hawaii, it's a group of people between the ages of 18 to 40. That is a significant age band. Now you can break it up into your college students, your young professionals, and your young families. And each of these groups have their own worldly priorities. They have their own sources of motivation. So when we try to come up with a wide program, we have to be thoughtful about this so that we get engagement across all levels. Next slide. So while the worldly priorities are different, the qualities of every YA is kind of described by Swami. And the link in the bottom here is a YouTube video by Brother Arvind, who describes all of these qualities really, really nicely. Number one is about having enthusiasm, like having the energy to say yes to Swami's work. We talked about everybody's going for devotional, who's saying yes to service. Like this, having the courage, that's not enough. Have the enthusiasm is step one. But then having the courage to do big things, having the courage to do challenging things. 3 is fortitude. So it's having faith in Swami that he will take care of the outcome. He will take care of the team, the time, energy, or resources, whatever the vision is. But he'll take care of that. He'll take care of all the resources. Number 4 is discrimination. We spent maybe a year and a half with Dr. Suresh on the Prema Vayani series. One of the most important things we learned was discrimination and being able to say what's right, what's wrong. And yeah, we might say there's a bit of gray, not totally black and white. But as we get purified, it becomes more clearer, right and wrong. Number 5 is power and strength. The physical and mental energy is just maybe in abundance at this age. Therefore, we should use it wisely and take it to in Swami's work. And valor is just a physical manifestation of courage. So across all of these qualities, majority of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter if you're a Y or not, it's a quality that exists in everybody. So everyone can be a Y. The band was 18 to 30, now it's 18 to 40. Who knows, it might be 18 to 50, 18 to 60. Dr. Suresh always talks about it. So now I'll pass it over to Sai Lata to give us an overview of the region. Next slide.
Yeah, I know everybody becomes touchy when it comes to age. So it's like either you're a YA or you identify as the names for our new YA reps, and thanks to our YA advisor, we've been able to add many more faces in this slide. And most of them were part of student council as well. So it's happy to see how this converts to YA reps, and we are trying to reduce that gap where sometimes once they are graduated, you see them only when they come back with kids to admit them for SSC, right? We're trying to reduce that gap and trying to engage them in all different aspects and all different activities that goes on at a center level. We have 15 YA coordinators now. I know the number is huge, but trust me, it is true. Approximately, we do have 193 people. Even if you don't see them at centers every Sunday, they're there. We are trying to engage them in many different activities that goes on throughout the year. And also 50% of them are still in colleges, and we know that they are doing many other things other than this. But we try to engage them as much as we can, and they also have their own groups where they try different things and just remember their North Star. So we are happy that they are able to find their North Star wherever they go. Going to the next one. I just wanted to share a few of the activities that goes on. Most of you are aware of it. If not, I'll start with the first one was the Spectacular series. that again was started by Anusha and Rajit, who were the previous YA coordinators. They initiated this. Initially, it started as a study circle group just for YAs to give them like a judgment-free zone for YAs to come and discuss and talk about Swami's messages and see how we can implement them best in our day-to-day life. So when they started this, the first call they had was with Brother Arvind Balasubramaniam, and we were expecting he'll just come, it will be like any other talk, and we'll have a 90 minutes talk and go our way, right? And he caught us there, and he was like, I'm not going to put you guys to sleep for a talk in 90 minutes. You guys do the discussion first. You talk about these things, see what is something that is a real challenge for you. What is something that really matters to you? What is something that you want to work on, right? And then you come back with questions and we'll have an interactive call. It won't be just one-sided where you can just mute yourself and listen for 90 minutes. It has to be both ways. And we're happy to see that it continues, and the latest session that we had was with Dr. Sanjay. And it was, he said, I don't even want to talk at all. The entire thing we'll do quick Q&A. So and within that, we'll find the answers to our solutions, to our challenges, our problems. The next one is the retreats. Most of you are aware of it more than us. You've worked on it so far. And other than the Labor Day retreat, we also have YA retreats that happen, which is smaller scale but still effective. And all these programs, the picture that you see here is of the game show that happened, and I see many faces here who have been participants there too. And there was blood drive as well, and for that 3-day, there's so much prep goes on behind the scene. There are so many small WhatsApp groups created, and everybody is engaged with that. We try to keep that momentum going after the event as well, so to prep for the next one. And yeah, like the service activities, even Nandi shared the ones that we are trying to help. And in these pictures, you see YAs along with many other people who are joining in. We're just trying to engage them more and try to repeat ourselves. If not, obviously try to grow, but also keep that consistency. And one of those examples we would like to highlight is for the Future Ties. As we talk about the service here, there are YAs in South Chicago working on this. And like I mentioned, this time Hiranmai is leading the session. This is our 5th session, and we have had different reps leading each time. So a little bit about this. This program was actually, we partnered with Ms. Jennifer Maddox, and apart from thanking Swami for bringing us this opportunity, we also thank Geeta Govindarajan who started this. So she had shared it first with us, and because of us going back there every time, we are able to build that trust with them. And we're so happy that she shared this in her social media account, showing what's going on and what is this SSIO about. And for that, this is happening every Saturday. It's like a 12 to 3. But for that 3 hours, 4 hours session, there are 3 other calls that happens through the week. One to plan for the session, one is for the feedback, one is, we're trying to get more structure into it right now, where we are able to understand each kid and try to get their strength, their weaknesses, and what we can work on. And this is not like a regular session, even if there are 10 to 20 volunteers, but it takes one teacher, one kid to have an effective session. So we are always looking for more volunteers, and we understand it's quite a drive from here to South Chicago, but there are many other ways where everybody can pitch in to plan the session, to give the raw material, to prepare some fun activities for them, right? So this is just one of the many activities that's going on, and we want to continue this with the same momentum and come up with new activities like this at the other centers as well.
And just one comment on that, Future Ties, is going back to the quality of courage. I think we're serving the Port Ministries for a number of years with the education service, and Future Ties is even further south in Chicago. So having YAs go there for now a year now, this is the 5th program, it just shows Swami will take care of your security. So that fear is gone. Right? So as we're looking forward, we look to Swami for inspiration as we think about our goals. You know, a lot of the messages you shared today was very powerful, and this is like just building onto it. Only the youth are capable of protecting this world. It is the youth and youth alone who can set the world right. No nation can stand without youth. Sometimes the elders underestimate the capabilities of the youth, thinking they are inexperienced and young. The youth are endowed with immense power. If they have firm resolve, they are capable of achieving anything. If they realize this their power, they can emancipate the nation. This does not need any education. How powerful is that? Like Swami can see the potential in us that we can't see yet. And hopefully with this term, we get to realize as YA coordinators, as office bearers, start to see that energy, what Swami can see. And we see this for our own kids. I look at my son Rudra, I can see what he can do. So now I realize, hey, Swami can also see the same. And going back to us. So using that and triggering the quality of enthusiasm and courage, we laid out a plan for next year, for this year, next year. You know, the slide that you showed, why supporting the center, that's the vision. The center comes first, and we want to support our service wing. And supporting the service wing by expanding the site tutoring program. I think Sai Chilapara, if we had more time, and I spoke to you the week before for an hour, what an incredible program it is. The 1 hour one-on-one is extremely effective. And you have teachers that are signed up to partner up with the student for a year and having that class regularly. So there's lots of potential here. And the online version just makes it scalable. We have 27 centers, lots of members. We should leverage that and become known to have great impact in that sense, right? So the goal for this year is double the number of students, so from 18 to 36. That's the goal this year. And we'll go in detail about the plan next slide. One thing. The EnviroCare, supporting the EnviroCare team. How are we going to support them? Anushka and Anurag is leading the e-waste drive. We've done this a couple of years when they were in the SSE council. Now we're just scaling that up and doing it at the regional level. She's already identified why champion the different centers, and that's going to continue over the next couple of weeks. But this service initiative will be building up to Guru Purnima. We also want to have something specific for young adults. Two things here. The first one is the college engagement plan. This is crucial. We want to close that gap where people get lost in it and come back again. Those top 3 universities, University of Michigan, Ohio State University, University of Urbana-Champaign, you have 10 to 14 YAs going to the university. But probably they only know like a few of them. Probably they don't engage with each other. For whatever reasons it might be, whatever peer pressure they might have, whatever it is. But we need to come up with a plan. So Sai Sham already started doing stuff in University of Michigan. And how do we take those ideas, build on it, have more intensity, more engagement. The second is the practical leadership model. I think in the Chicagoland centers, we figured that out. We have lots of Ys that are churning out as leaders, everyone driving these projects over and over. So it's like codifying this and sharing with others. On the retreats, we want to continue partnering with our team. The bar last year was very high, so we want to maintain that bar. And I also heard that the sweet spot will be driven by the YAs this year. Have it bigger, and it could be a dessert. Also, a plan for the session.
Wherever you go.
And the last one is the YA mini retreat. We already got suggests or offers to host in Detroit. We've got offers to host in Milwaukee the next event, and we want to plan that around with Dr. Sanjay is in person. He'll be in the US now, and we'll have some dates planned temporarily in June. Next. So site tutoring, like what's our pathway to get there? Now we think of it as 3 steps to get there. Now, step 1 is growing our online tutor portal pool. And that's if you want to have enough backup tutors for these 18 students. And the backup teachers also gives us a chance to train everyone, get them on board. And so ultimately we start growing that pool of teachers to support the incoming students. Step number 2 is going to be the hardest, I think. But it's a challenge we're up for, having an accelerated community outreach. So Sai Sarabakal already has a way on how to reach out to the community. There may be some refinements on how we kind of, that communication package. Let's come up with a list of organizations we want to partner with, communities we want to partner with. It could be refugees, it could be schools in low-income areas. Come up with a list and just have a coordinated effort at doing the reach out, consistent messages, and follow-ups with this organization. That's how we're going to be building the student pipeline. And then lastly, step 3 is like just bringing it all together, so that you have a scalable operating model. It works now for 18 students, but when you get to 30, 50, 100 plus students, we want the model to still work and be robust and sustainable. And then I'll pass it over to Sister to close off.
Yeah, these are the few things that was like requests and asks from us, probably just to see how we can, we want YUs to be integrated in every activity that goes on in the center, even study circle. I know it's a difficult one to get them, but we can. And like you mentioned about the tutoring, again, like time and again, we have enough teachers, we have enough students for the current place, but even then Uncle has to, like each week we get messages for backup teachers. So it's good to have, even if we have 2 teachers for 1 student, that's also good. But as long as we can keep doing it and scaling it up, that's the request. And for the EnviroCare, the e-waste drive, again, that's a little bit of time that we will need from the center reps to share about this. And also we need your help to find the good sites around your place to donate this afterwards as well. Because a lot of collections we do, but the difficult part is to know where to give it also, right? So just to find those stuff, we will need help from everybody. And apart from all this, like you all have been our guiding lights for all the YAs, all the SSEs, just continue to do that, and we're very thankful for the opportunities.
Sairam everyone, Humble Pranams at the Holy Feet of the Lal Swami. Thank you so much for staying with me. This last part before lunch is I'll try to make it as exciting as possible. And I think he's getting my slide projection ready. That's perfect. My name is Shailaja Raju and I'm from the Ainabad Sai Center. And it's my pleasure to be, a lot of the sisters who are part of my group are here, and I appreciate that you've taken the time to come here and we can all orient ourselves together. As Brother Madhav mentioned, the women's wing is part of our self-transformation journey, and I'll explain to you how and why. I have to mention that once I brought up that Swami is starting this women's wing, a brother said, why women's wing? Why not men's wing? And, that is a very good question because, everybody needs their space and time. And because Swami said that from ancient times, the feminine aspect of the divine has been worshipped. We have to study the lives of great women, of patience and fortitude, try to implement it in our life, try to use that to transform others, and try to transform ourselves first before we do anything. And I know I'm following the presentations of so many amazing, the devotion wing and the service wing and the YAs, and so everything
they've been so beautiful in explaining how we have to touch the Swami within us to reach out to ourselves and to others. In the women's wing, please go to the next one. Swami always says that women are the embodiment of strength, love, and endurance. And he said women are the form of Shakti, believe it or not, and sometimes we forget that. In our daily lives, we get so stressed, we are so busy doing so many different things, we forget that we have that Swami inside us to reach out to ourselves and others. And Swami said that women are the strength behind the nation. And we have to use this power within us to enrich ourselves, to empower ourselves, and to enhance ourselves, to get closer to Swami. And in the process, we always pull others along with us. So it's using that love to pull others along. And this small little clip of 1 minute, Swami describes very beautifully why the women are the strength or the pillars of the nation. That if you can please play that. I think I did it right. I'm not technically smart, but
because of the changes of the modern world, all new fangled thoughts. There is no place whatsoever for good thoughts, for good actions, for any type of good deeds.
ఈ పవిత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క భావనను అభివృద్ధి పరచుకోవాలని దీనికి సత్యసాయి సంస్థలని సత్యసాయి మహిళా విభాగములని దీనికి ఏర్పరిచి ఈ సత్సంగ ప్రభావాన్ని జగమును చాటే నిమిత్తమై దీనికి ఏర్పడుతూ వచ్చాం.
For the purpose of increasing the recognition of these values, and then it is the woman who should uphold it, and so there are various organizations of Sri Satya Sai, like Mahila Vibhag, and so many other type of things.
కనుకనే స్త్రీలు కూడినప్పుడే జగత్తంతా ఇప్పుడు ఒక పవిత్రమైన దేశంగా రూపొందుతుంది.
It's only when the women get together that the whole nation becomes something exemplary.
Isn't it so amazing, that small little statement? And basically, it clearly tells us why Swami wants us to do this, and he says you have the power within you to do it. I know there was a question in the registration as to what is the role of a women's coordinator. As in the breakout session, we look at it more, but basically, it was in 2020, Sister Lakshmi Vyakaran, who's a national women's lead, and many of you know her very well, she was given the task by Swami to create this women's wing. And at that point, the first thing what we had done was created women's peer enrichment groups. And peer enrichment groups was to help sisters, identify the strength within themselves. Sometimes we get so caught up with the stresses of life, the things we have to do, take care of so many things. Like one of the brothers mentioned in their presentation, they're like, oh, we have no time, or we are so tired. So Swami, through these groups, is trying to help us understand there is time. You can do things. You can do what you want to. And he gives us, the space, the energy. He does everything, of course, right? So he gives us that space. So at that point of time, these women's groups, the peer enrichment groups were created. And, it was still little, many of us as women are shy to come forward and talk about different things. So slowly it expanded to doing different things together so that we could reach out to each other, reach out within ourselves, and reach out to the community. Raja? In our Region 5, let me talk about Region 5, we have some really, really dynamic sisters who are the coordinators of their own centers. We have 8 women's coordinators, and we are requesting all the presidents who are here who do not have women's coordinators in your centers, please try to nominate someone. And if you have a woman as a president, please do join us, because we do have some sisters who are presidents of their centers who join the group. We meet on a monthly basis, discuss the different service activities we do and different things we do. Our regional lead, we have sisters, as you can see, all of them are so beautiful and dynamic, and They are like pillars of strength. They are pillars of strength. Honestly, they do so much in each of the centers. And Sister Madre Lewis is from Chicago North, and I'm sorry that I didn't put that part of it. So Chicago North, right? West. So, and these are all the sisters who are doing amazing work to reach out to other sisters, and they are part of the main group now. And we encourage every center to nominate someone so they could be a part of the group and include themselves and give us ideas on how we can enhance and reach out to different people. Now, what is it that you will be doing, right? What is the role? The main objective of the group is the main 4 things that Swami wants us to do: to share, care, enrich, and empower. Sharing, with sharing problems, sometimes, you don't want to talk about your problems with others, but when you're in the process of working with somebody, you begin to realize that they are your sister, and then you slowly start having a sisterly love and affection for each other, and creating that space where you can feel comfortable and feel the Swami in you to reduce the stress or the burden within you. And similarly, with that, you come into the space of compassion, where you're giving compassion not only to your family, but part of self-care. One of the mottos of self-care is to give compassion to people around you. And this is what the groups will assist you to do, to give the compassion around people around you, and to the different groups and people that you work with. And in the process, Swami has guided. You will see that it enriches people, they learn new skills. In fact, today at 1 o'clock, there is a wonderful enrichment program where they're learning to make bags with old saris. So all the sisters in the national group are learning that, and every center is like learning that, having a lead, and we'll all be doing it actually. All the sisters will be making bags from old saris. So we're enriching using different things, and then giving it to Sister Rama Devi, who's going to be doing an amazing project. I know she'll talk about that later. But basically, those are ways in which you can enrich, the Swami says, we can enrich each other and empower each other to the women's groups, because so many sisters have hidden talents, and through these groups it comes out in different ways and different forms, and those talents are recognized and they become a beautiful flower of devotion to Swami. Some of the goals of the women's group is to include, including every sister, because in this process you reach out to sisters and of course brothers too, but including everybody to be a part of the group and help them understand that they are there. We are there for them, and because the Swami is in us is there for the Swami in them. Like that, we are all going to be the good Swamis here. There's no bad Swami here, like in the slide that brother shared. So being there for each other and recognizing that we are each other's strength and getting closer to Swami in that process, and increasing participation. So if you are aware of any center that does not have a sister or women's coordinator, please reach out to them, please request them to nominate someone, because sometimes it's very scary. Is it women's coordinator? What do I have to do? Is it very difficult? No, it's just being yourself and having fun with all of us. So please request whoever you can who does not have a women's coordinator to participate, and within your centers, within your groups, within not only the Sai group, even outside of Sai group, if you have sisters, that's a good way to include them in the Sai fold. Include them in participation. Like when we had a face mask project at one time, we included so many sisters who are not even Sai devotees, and they became Sai devotees in the process. Or, making packs, care packets, or any of those different things. You will see that may be Swami's way of connecting to somebody in the community who needs some help, and he will send to us through that process. And that is where you reach within and reach out to the community. And once you are helping someone, who are you helping, right? You're helping yourself. You're helping yourself get closer to Swami. And the way the women's groups are doing it, again, the threefold mark that Brother Madhu suggested, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So basically, with the Bhakti Yoga, what we're doing is like having the online groups, online study groups, which Now we have chosen Satya Sai Vahini. Before we did Satyam Shivam Sundaram. So the sisters are having like groups where you read for this week we'll read this chapter, that week, next week we'll read another chapter. So then what would happen is then after that we have, some centers are having individual study groups where they talk about how did it transform you, how did you feel about it. And then we are having regional retreats. And Sister Sakita, who is from Brazil, who did an amazing job with the women's group in Region 5 before I stepped into this role, had 3 regional retreats last year where sisters who read the books would come and talk about their experiences related to Satya Sai Vahini, and that would also instill and inspire others in the process. And basically, with now the book that we are planning to do, we have started to do is Satya Sai Vahini. And this was also like requested, because it's come from like the idea that it's really an inspiring thing to do, to read Swami's literature. He has a reason for us to do it, so we can do that. And then of course the service activities. In the process of getting together, the women's groups are creating different ways in which you reach out. In the past year, the women have coordinated to produce like several scarves and give it to the homeless. And many centers did 100 or more scarves because of 100 birthdays, as you all know. And some of the sisters made blankets, and it was like served or given to the poor. And visiting seniors, that is, I know Brother Martha was also suggesting that it's an excellent project to reach out to sisters and brothers who are older than some support in the community. So serving the seniors in whatever way you can, and visiting soup kitchens, offering jail service, assembling comfort bags. I mean, the number of projects the 8 sisters have brought to the groups is like amazing, and that clearly shows why Swami has a women's group. So like the role of a women's coordinator is to just assist to bring the Swami to the group and talk about things, so then the ideas just flow out. And it's like sometimes in our meetings I don't have to say anything because all the sisters are so amazing and they bring out the energy which Swami directs through them. And I have some cute pictures, very nice pictures of the activities that were done. This is some of the scarves that was knitted and given to the homeless from different centers. These are all the different activities that different centers had. For Swami's birthday, and otherwise they had, women's group activities. Some of them are very informal. Some of the women's groups activities, they just collected. One senior auntie taught, like this was in Ann Arbor Center, she came and taught how to make rasgulla. So that was like a cute way to just meet and then talk and get together and learn. I don't know whether I learned rasgulla or I learned how to eat it better. so it was, one of those things, but it was still very fun. And sometimes the sisters go for a walk, because if you tell everybody you have to be healthy, I know for me one day, we're like brother said, one day we'll do everything, but afterwards it goes into the wind. But if you, all the sisters say, let's go just do it, and after that we can sit down and eat some pakoras, whatever, So, but it's still a lot of fun. So just doing any fun things together, you feel lighter, you feel the Swami inside you, and it makes it feel so happy. And then I did a good job all time because and then of course there are lots of different things, like many sisters who did not know how to knit, learn to knit. People who didn't know how to crochet, learn to, and those might be like, what does it help? How does it help? It is also very calming, because when you sit and knit, every time you knit, you have your calm mind, and that's when you hear the sigh. In silence, we hear the sigh, right? So you hear the sigh inside you, and that makes it a beautiful activity. It gets you closer to Him. So whenever I think of why women's groups, now I know, because He wants us to remember us in everything, in small things, whether it is, cooking or playing with the kids or listening to music, or it is in the big things like doing the service activities, reaching out to the jail services or anything. So brothers, one day Swami, I think maybe Swami thinks the brothers are amazing and you don't need it, but you don't need the men's group, but the women, it's a wonderful way to connect with each other. And I want to end with this beautiful quote that Swami says, because I think in this way he's telling us that women should develop the qualities of sympathy, compassion, love, and sacrifice. Study the lives of great women who were models of patience, fortitude, compassion, and sacrifice. I desire that you should take up the reins of leadership and bring peace and prosperity to the nations by leading ideal lives. The last statement, it really stuck to me, because bringing peace within our homes, because of course there are good things and bad things that happen in our homes. Bringing peace within our centers, like Brother said, sometimes I may agree to disagree with you, but bringing peace there. And eventually we'll bring peace to the world, because I think that is Swami's way of doing, his way of doing it. So please remember, you are beautiful instruments of Swami. That one little light brightens the whole room, and you are that light that brightens the room. And brothers, you are the one who's bringing the light to the room, so you're as powerful in this ladies' room. Thank you so much.
We offer our most loving pranams to our beloved Bhagwan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Sai Ram, everyone. So, I'm Hema Bambipati, and I have my colleague Sai Manohari. We both are EnviroCare coordinators for Asian Heart. So let's start with Swami's message.
So Swami says, I will tell the gist of it. It's like we are part of this nature. So from the individual to the Parameshti. So it's like the individual and the society and the nature and the divine. So if you see, those are the concentric circles. So how shall we are not different from that. Nature is what we need to understand today. So actually it's Swami's plan why EnviroCare was moved to the last. Now I understand. So the vision of our EnviroCare is not something new that we came up. Swami later this wing has developed, was informed, but this EnviroCare is the integral part of this entire universe, cosmos, everything. And Swami, when officially started discourses and officially started documenting in 1960s also, Swami was talking about how to take care of the nature, how to utilize and how to practice that non-violence and taking precautions. So in the same way, now our vision is to protect this Mother Earth. Swami talked about 5 mothers. One of them is our Bhumata. So how do we take care of this Bhumata? That should be our vision. So how can I individually do? How can we as a family do? That is our pure vision. And then we are the integral part of all the wings that are so far being presented here. Be it SSC, be it devotional, be it women's wing, everything. We are integral part of it. Everywhere, and even with the service future ties, how can we reduce waste? How can we do it eco-friendly? So that is what our vision truly, and we need to live by example. We need to inspire everyone by actually practicing.
Raghu? We have Swami.
అనంతమైనది,
Universe is infinite.
అద్భుతమైనది.
It's most wonderful.
ఇలాంటి సృష్టి యొక్క తత్వమును మానవుడు గుర్తించుకునలేక కేవలం వ్యక్తిత్వముని వ్యక్తపరుస్తూ అనేక విధములైనటువంటి కష్టములకు గురి అవుతున్నారు.
But man, being not able to recognize the principle behind creation, gives all importance to individuality and therefore is subjected to a lot of troubles.
సృష్టి అనగా ఈశ్వరేచ్ఛకు ప్రకటనే.
The universe or creation is a very expression of the divine will.
దీని పేరే ప్రకృతి.
The name is Prakriti or nature.
ఈ ప్రకృతి యందు పుట్టిన ప్రతి మానవుడు ఈశ్వర స్వభావమే కలిగి ఉండాలి.
Every man who is born in this Prakriti or nature should have divine nature.
ఈ సృష్టి సంరక్షణ నిమిత్తమై తాను తన మనుగడను కొనసాగవలసి వస్తుంది.
In order to protect this creation, man has to dedicate his life.
What a profound message Swami has given us. So just to add to what Simon O'Hare has said, EnviroCare, if we consider a tree as EnviroCare, then all the beings, the traditional, the SSC, and YA, so all these wings are like roots of the tree. So unless the roots are strong, the tree wouldn't grow well. So we need support from all the wings here and not just the EnviroCare coordinators. So coming to our vision, so we have a few goals from the national team, which is to make center, regional, national events 100% green by 2027, and also increase personal commitment to sealing our desires and using food, time, money, and energy wisely, and create time and space for reflection and self-transformation for individuals at center and events. So these are the national EnviroCare goals, and the action item that we are going to adopt here is the monthly sadhana geared towards EnviroCare. So for this, we came up with some idea to share a simple sadhana with all the centers. And we request all the centers to do this simple sadhana. For all age groups, not just the adults, but as well as the SSC students, more importantly SSC students, because we want to make them understand the value of preserving and conserving our nature and helping keep our Mother Earth sustainable for the future generations. So for that, we will be providing a small slide to all the centers. Say, for example, the simple sadhana might be like limiting your shower time to 5 minutes. So if you want to keep a timer, that's fine. Otherwise, limit it to 2 buttons, but not long buttons, not 10-line buttons. So just make it 3 to 4 lines buttons, 2 buttons, and limit it to that. That way we can conserve water. And SSC students will be given 2 challenges. One is to observe that, and second is to observe their parents. So that will be more interesting for them. So make sure that they are taking only 5-minute showers. So that way they'll get more involved as well, right? So the future generation, we have to move them right from gender age. So we will be providing a slide depicting the importance of why we are doing that sadhana, and it will be a monthly sadhana. So starting, for Aradhana Day, we have our national EnviroCare coordinator here. So we have a weekly, for that week we'll be following a sadhana, and after that there will be this monthly sadhana where we'll be sharing across the region all the whatever sadhana we want to do. So we request the president and also the EnviroCare, along with the EnviroCare coordinators, the SSC coordinators, Of course, service wing is always there with the Embryo Care. So we request them to make sure that they present this slide every week along with their announcements. And teachers in their classrooms to talk to the students about the importance, and after every week, get back the progress. Make sure that they, not just tell them do this and leave it there, but make sure that they also follow it and we keep it progressive. So that is what we'll be requesting for Region 5.
These are some current sevas that we are doing. In due respect, I'm just moving on.
So, and many of the Embryo Care coordinators know that we report the tree planting using a Google form, and we will be continuing using the same form, and we'll be sharing the link as well. But we'll also have another spreadsheet that we'll be sharing to just document the progress that we are making on the monthly sadhana. We'll be sharing those things. And we just want to give you an overall idea about what we can do. So there are many things that we can do, but are we doing even 10% of them? Let's see what all we can do. So coming to the lifestyle changes to scale up trees on earth, let's see, review a few thoughts. Next slide. So it's not just planting trees, but we can also scale up trees by reducing tree cutting and save paper. And some of you, most of you know about it, but we may wonder why saving paper will help trees sustain. So this is just looking at some numbers here. We have to cut down 24 fully grown trees just to produce 1 ton of new white paper. However, making some wise choices. How can we bring it down? Next slide, please. So, to produce 12 cases of pure white paper, it requires 8 trees, fully grown trees. However, if it is 30% recycled paper, it comes down to 5 trees. Whereas, if it comes down to 100% recycled paper, it comes to 0. So, our choices have to be made wisely, and we have to consider, take this aspect into consideration. So, we'll skip this. So, there are many other ways you can also reduce, so by signing up for restatements and all. And we'll discuss that more in the breakout session in the interest of time. And please do encourage all your members, and we have to start that first by gifting trees for any celebration. So nice plants or maybe saplings for celebrations in memory of a person plants some trees or in memory of a pet. So we can do a lot of things to scale up the trees.
Other ways like by mindfully seeing our lifestyle, like what are we putting into earth? Will that be turned into actual earth, or will that be turned into something toxic? For example, plastics. Plastic has become so much in our day-to-day life with our lifestyle. But Swami's quote, simple living, high thinking. That's how we have to be. Simple living. Olden days, toothbrush is not there with the stems and all, As much as possible, try to reduce it. For example, today we have some plastic spoons, sadly. We have to give something.
We bought our spoons.
Exactly, that's what I want. So this is where it happens. We have to refuse. So the world is given with so many choices. How do you choose that? What is your right choice? So this is where again that discrimination comes. We are gifted with this beautiful intellect, taking the wise choice. What to do, what is good, what is for greater good and all. So in every way you can implement that. Plastic, so many ways, as much as you can reduce. And in the same way, because these microplastics come into this earth and then that becomes into integral part of this food chain, and then it comes to our body and then our health. As much as possible, let's improve our lifestyle is what we would like to tell here. At the same time, there are
it's inevitable because we are not there into that technology right now. So we are in a lot of processed food, but at least choosing that. At least some plastics are recyclable, some are definitely not. Can we avoid that? Can I avoid a store-bought, packed, styrofoamed sweet corn thing? Instead, just go with the individual ones. So such things, at least, okay, I did not put a styrofoam again back into Mother Earth. So such small things would really bring a good impact. And then with the water, how can we are gifted with a lot of our water. Lake Michigan, we are blessed. That doesn't mean so many people are not having even basic water and all. It's like also your karma. If we really misuse, we may again be born and into some place where we face famines, droughts and all. So we have to respect, be grateful with what we are gifted and use it wisely. And this has to be so integral in our system and we actually live it so naturally. And then even the Swami says, how we are putting the waste into the water also matters. If you can practice that, that is what non-violence is. So you can't put so much of chemicals into the water, or if you have a plant, or if you have some home business or anything, try to have that mind like, okay, how am I treating this water and putting it into earth or something like that. And using natural versus chemicalized soaps or something. And then with the energy. So save our energy and also save the energy with all the lights, with the TV watching or the phone, anything. And go with the smarter ways, automatic lights or solar lights. Several other ways we are very, if we are really connected to that source, this is my earth, this is our Swami, this is our Swami in the formless, then we become very, very awareness and we can invent so many ways how beautifully we can live and get connected to this every moment that Swami is being present as the omnipresent Swami. Coming to the compost, these are some ways that we can do. And compost.
So you might be wondering how food waste, composting food waste, is helpful to Mother Earth. It's not just preparing a fertilizer in a backyard, but it will reduce methane emissions from landfills due to anaerobic decomposition. So the homemade manure is like blackboard, and we can avoid filling the landfills with such blackboard. And even if you everybody should start having a compost bin in the backyard. Even if you live in an apartment, you can always give it to your friends or use it for the landscape in front of the apartment. So it is very important to start that. So Swami said, I read in one of Swami's literature, you love your children so much, but what kind of world are you living today? So it is time for us to reflect, reuse, and refuse what is not good for the environment. So with that, I think we are done, and I request Sai Prabhu,
our National EnviroCare office bearer, also representing our region. He is talking about also the Sai Go Green Week Sadhana. What do you?
Thank you. Sai Ram. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
We also have one more national officer here, who is Rajit, who is a national. I did not come for this. I know it is not a competition between wings, but as soon as I heard Madhu say that it is easy to reach self-realization through bhakti, I have to say it's easy to self-realize through EnviroCare. I have two things to say. One, we all talked about how big our region is. Anything has 2 coordinators. That will always be. So for EnviroCare, we have 2 coordinators. Please take advantage of us, including myself. Right? Whatever ways we can help you, we are here to help you. And Sai Go Green Week has been part of, actually I want to give a quick history. In 2007, there was a national young adult retreat or a national young adult retreat that happened in Chicago. That's where the Go Green House was formed. The original Go Green House was formed in Chicago. So Region 5 has a lot to do with EnviroCare. And that being said, now we have the national team which has recognized that EnviroCare has to be part of the national team, and they have given us this green that we can work with all of you. So next week, to celebrate Earth Day and Aradhana Day, we have the Go Green Week. And have you all received that email about Sai Go Green Week?
Yes.
Yeah. Did all of you get a chance to see what it was? Then, so I can skip. I don't have to repeat it. Yeah. So basically, the idea is it's a personal sadhana we all can do. And if you can go to that slide. Yes. It is very simple. We can all do this. Is a personal sadhana. You say no to something and you start practicing something. That's the idea for the whole week. And we believe if you do that wholeheartedly, you can actually be self-transformed, and you will also continue to do that, and whatever it is of your choice. And I said that EnviroCare is also a path to self-transformation, right? The reason is, if we do that not just as an activity, if we put our heart and soul in it, you become more mindful. Mindfulness is the key aspect of decision making. So any decision you make in your life will be so mindful that you are going to make progress in your life. And also the second thing is, if you feel the oneness, right, by practicing this, then that is what Swami wants from all of us. You heard the word oneness from almost all the ways. So by practicing this, you will start feeling the oneness. So that is also a path to self-transformation. So thank you for the opportunity, and we are here to help you all the ways. Please let us know how we can serve and support you. Sai.
As a token of love for all the office bearers here who came here from far places and local and supporting, as a small, we have tried to give you a small plant. So before you leave, I know some of you are leaving in the afternoon itself, please take a plant and go home and shower so much love with it.
Thank you for that. So we'll adjourn for lunch. If you can take 40 minutes and come back. They said that somebody is going in afternoon. I said, I don't think anyone is going in afternoon. They're only ending at 5 o'clock. So if anyone is there, please see me. Sorry.
They will not see you, they will go. I want to go with that's right there. Yeah. That's right, I'll be the right one.